Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be riding the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal bike trail, also known as the C&O trail, up to the Washington Aqueduct Observatory, where I'm going to be hiking the Billy Goat Trail A, though that's going to be a different video. So this is going to be about a 38-mile round trip. Half of it will be paved, half unpaved. It actually gets a little hairy, so it's got potholes and gravel and plenty of rocks along the way. But it's going to be a beautiful ride, and I can't wait to show you. Let's take a look at the equipment. Yeah, lots of crap. So, helmet with GoPro mount. I got a bag with 2 liters of water in it. Just regular running shoes. Got spare gloves. A light jacket. Sweatpants in case it gets cold, as well as a light shell. Bike shorts, inner tube, glasses, biking gloves, got a couple bars, lunch, very important, a GPS watch, lights, CO2, hand sanitizer. These are used to kind of hold down your pant legs. Toilet paper, because you never know, multi-tool, cell phone, and spare battery. So a lot of crap, and I don't usually go this heavy, but I mean, you're out there in the middle of nowhere essentially, and all manner of things can happen, so it's better be prepared. Let's take a look at my bike. There it is. This is Cohete. This is my commuter bike. If my little road bike in Miami is a Porsche, this is an F-150, because it's heavy and it can haul a lot of crap. It has a rear rack with a side basket, fenders, U-lock, cages for the feet, little saddlebag with spare inner tube, multi-tool, lever, and extra CO2, bungees, because, well, you never know when you need bungees. And this guy is heavy. It is not fast, but it's got wider tires. It doesn't have those racing tires, so it can handle the bumpier ride. So this is going to be a great trip, and I'm really looking forward to doing it with you guys. Alright, it's about 60 degrees outside. It's a little chilly, but hopefully it'll warm up later. I'm ready to go. Got my bag, got all my stuff. So, let's start riding. I just finished riding through Georgetown, and now I just got to the Capital Crescent Trail just before the C&O bike trail. So this section is nice and paved. It's pretty flat, and it actually parallels the canal, which we'll be joining up a few miles down the road. But it's nice and leafy and quiet. Good ride. Getting some nice views of the Potomac right there. Gonna be following all the way up. We're just now starting to get our first glimpses of the canal and the path alongside it. Pretty soon the Capital Crescent Trail will head off toward Bethesda, and I'll get on to the C&O trail. The Capital Crescent and C&O trails have finally split, and as you can tell, it's a little bumpy here. The trail's got a lot of gravel and cobblestone and just loose rocks. So if you've just got like a road bike with skinny tires, or you're not used to riding shockless on these kind of trails, probably best to keep off. But yeah, so make sure you get onto the you get onto the C&O after Fletcher's Cove, because otherwise you'll wind up on that railroad trestle over there, headed toward Bethesda. And I've made that mistake before, and I had to backtrack like 2 miles, so super annoying. But since we're here, let's talk about the canal. So here it is to my right. This is the old Chesapeake and Ohio Canal. It was a pretty big feat of engineering. I believe they started building it in the 1830s, I think, and they finally finished it in the 1850s. It runs about 180 miles long from Georgetown on your left to way up in the Appalachians, and it was primarily used to move coal into the capital. It ran up until the 1920s, but the railroads really put a number on it, and finally, you know, it got hit by a series of catastrophic floods that made it basically obsolete. So they just didn't have the money to fix it, and there's really no reason to do so. But yeah, the reason you have this canal here, rather than just have boats navigate the Potomac off to our left, is because once you pass DC, you go up a little north, it has a ton of rapids, and it gets pretty narrow, and it's you just basically can't navigate it. And the first canals were built far earlier. George Washington actually had a company that built a series of short canals around the worst rapids, but this was a long-time dream of his. It was originally supposed to go all the way up into Ohio, hence the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, but that leg of the canal was never completed. So all we have now is this this stretch here. We're coming up on the first of several dozen locks that intersperse the canal. These things were absolutely key to raising and lowering the boats as they made their way toward DC. It's just like the Panama Canal, only on a much smaller scale and using 19th century technology. Here's the first of the many lock houses along the way. It's where the person who ran the locks would live, and a lot of them are open, so you can go in and check them out, though several being restored. They're pretty cool. The handlebars are a T design, meaning that they're perpendicular to the frame of the bike, as opposed to having, say, ram's horns or just a place to rest your hand parallel to the bike, which is a much more ergonomic design. So I found that when I'm riding these long trails, I keep my hands like this along the T-shape, then my wrists really start to hurt after a while. So whenever I can, I put my hands on the outside of the bars and hold it parallel like that. So that's a little trick of the trade. And now we're starting to see some really nice views of the Potomac. I'm basically riding along the top of like a 70-foot tall retainer wall that they built along a cliffside toward the canal here to the right. And it's pretty cool to think that, you know, this was all done in like the 1830s and 40s. Wouldn't have anywhere near the technology that we have today. Unicyclists. You don't see that every day. This is probably my favorite section of the canal right here, where it broadens out. It's just beautiful. There's the trailhead to the Billy Goat Trail Section A. We got to hike that later, but that's a whole other video. This is a really crowded section of the trail. So, also there's no guardrail. On your left! So, if it's nice weather out, be ready to make your way around people and try not to fall into the canal. On your left! Thank you. Oh, now that's a view right there. That is gorgeous. It's incredible to think that just a couple miles north of DC you have the Potomac just goes wild, and you have all this nature all around it. Ooh, looks like they opened the Great Falls Overlook. you definitely have to go check this out. Wow. Amazing. So few people living in DC know that that paved Potomac that they see every day turns into these crazy rapids. We are finally getting to the visitor center, and they have a nice little boat that actually used to ply the waters of the canal way back in the day here. But it's a really nice center. We've got a lot of information about the history of the area and a little restaurant. So it's a good place to catch a breath. Alright. We finally made it to the Washington Aqueduct overlook. The whole trip was 19.1 miles long. Usually, on a road bike, on an open stretch of road, that would take me, less than an hour to do. But it's a lot of gravel, a lot of pedestrians and runners, a lot of stuff in the way. So it took me actually an hour and 55 minutes. So plan your trips accordingly. But it's an awesome ride. I really enjoyed it. I still got to ride back, but I will save you that part because you basically saw it all coming up. It's obviously a lot faster going back down because it's basically all downhill. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please share and subscribe, and I'll catch you around.